and a warm welcome to Mlc TV News Hour, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the Confluence State of Nigeria. I am Matthias Ayodeji Peter. First, the news headlines. KOGI State Governor BELLO launched BELLO Cares program to cater for 15,000 indigents in the state, pays 180 million naira for takeoff. ZULUM shares 400 million naira food, textiles to over 90,000 vulnerable residents and groups. Islamic State group says they killed Italian nun in Mozambique. And Carlos ALCARAZ beats JANNIK in marathon win at US Open in New York. Now the news in detail. KOGI State has sent to law 4 bills that will have direct financial implications and economic development in the state. Governor Bello, during the signing, commended the State Assembly members for the purposeful efforts to ensure KOGI moves forward in terms of good tidings that would help to generate more income in the state. Governor Bello also assured Assembly members to make sure all bills signed to law are fully implemented in the state, saying their commitment to make laws work is a wake-up call to all ministries and parastatals to implement them, and promised not to take it lightly with any ministry who fail to implement the directives. Our reporter has more.
The Speaker of the House of Assembly expressed his displeasure over many bills signed to law and yet to be implemented in the state. He said it took too much commitment from all members to make sure the bills are passed. He assured the state government of their commitment at all times to make sure KOGI and the people get better.
And Your Excellency, we want to assure you that after assent to these bills, it is our conviction in the KOGI State House of Assembly that we have contributed our own quota to the revenue generation of KOGI State. But Your Excellency, I would like to inform Your Excellency that most of the bills that are being passed by the KOGI State House of Assembly are not implemented by some ministries. And we believe we had a very hard time to pass these bills into law. And most of the bills are just there, lying down with the ministry. We urge Your Excellency to direct those ministries to implement some of our laws, the law of the state, so that some areas will be covered. On behalf of my distinguished honorable colleagues, we want to thank you for the security architecture you have put in place in KOGI State, particularly in our rural areas, that has made us to be comfortable. We work freely in entire KOGI State.
The governor commended the 7th Assembly, said they have performed efficiently and that the relationship between the 3 tiers of government have been cordial and promised to keep the tempo.
Remember, we inherited a state that was virtually lawless. This particular 7th Assembly have done greatly, and I appreciate you all. And I continue to urge you to live in peace and harmony among yourselves and with the legislature and even with the executive and even the judiciary.
On numerous bills not implemented, Governor Bello called on all state ministry and parastatals with immediate effect to begin to implement them, and any ministry found wanting will be determined.
I urge the KOGI State House of Assembly under the leadership of the Speaker to please help to identify all of these laws that we have passed and I have signed into law but unimplemented by the various agencies or ministries or parastatals, so that we can jointly carry out M&E, that is monitoring and evaluation, to ensure that they are complied with. We don't want a situation where you'll be forced to obey the law. You have to obey it and ensure that we make KOGI State the greatest state as far as Nigeria is concerned.
He called on all citizens, business owners, and those earning their living in the state to comply with the laws, stating that the newly signed laws will facilitate a clean environment and increase in revenue generation. The bills signed to the law are a bill for a law to provide for the establishment of the KOGI State Sanitation and Waste Management Board 2022, and to provide for the enactment of KOGI State Environmental Health Law and other matters connected therewith. A bill for a law to provide for the movement of agricultural produce within Kogi State and other matters connected therewith 2022. A bill for a law to provide for the regulation of outdoor structure for the displays of signage and advertisements and other matters connected therewith 2022. And a bill for a law to repair and reenact the Kogi State Hotels and Tourism Board Edit 1995 and establishing the Kogi State Hotels and Tourism Board and other matters connected therewith 2022. Esther Michael reporting for Mlc TV.
Kogi State government has launched a program tagged BELLO Cares to take care of 15,000 Kogi children from 0 to 5 years, physically challenged and other vulnerable people across the 21 local government areas. Governor Yaya Bello gave the assurance during the launching in the Government House, Lokoja. He said under the State Health Insurance Agency, no one is allowed to suffer setback when it comes to taking care of their health because a state with healthy people is wealthy. Bello already donated 180 million naira to the agency to kickstart over 100 of already registered health care facilities to take care of the beneficiaries. Our reporter has more.
Kogi State Governor Yahya Bello said the program would grant 15,000 indigent and vulnerable people in the state access to quality health care under the State Health Insurance Agency across the 21 local government areas. He said health is among his administration's top priorities and that no one is permitted to be sick or lack money to treat his or herself under his watch, hence releasing the sum of 180 million naira as a take-off fund for the program, as well as 70 million naira counterpart fund paid to the federal government.
Kogi State here, health is the second out of our 5 thematic areas. Of course, after education, next is health. And I appreciate all of those who delivered goodwill messages, the representative of the various bodies, the WHO and the rest, who made the analysis, simply put, that health is wealth. Health is education. Health is enlightenment. And if we human beings are created to come and dominate the world, how do we achieve that? Without health, without wealth, without education. And if you look at all of these, it has been captured well by the new direction administration currently. And that is why we are here today and we see the various programs and projects being executed by this administration under my leadership. All the points, demands, and various fears that have been expressed, I want to assure you that without you even mentioning them, we will take care of it. BELLO Care will not just be limited to just health insurance alone. It will transcend beyond health insurance. I encourage every well-spirited citizens of Kogi State to please buy and enroll a lot more into this particular scheme.
The governor said that the Health Insurance Agency will cater for pregnant women, children between the ages of 0 to 5 years, persons with disabilities, and the poor and the vulnerable as part of the 15,000 beneficiaries of the program to begin with. The Executive Secretary of the State Health Insurance Agency, Dr. Kunle Aledare, thanked the governor for giving priority to the health care of people, assured the government and the people of Kogi of all stakeholders to play their role without jeopardizing the purpose the agency is meant for.
And the BELLO Care initiative is designed to complement the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund of the federal government. Under the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund of the federal government, Kogi State Insurance Agency have enrolled 30,898 enrollees across the 21 local governments, and the same category of vulnerable people that are benefiting. 1 primary center per ward have been selected, and there are about 131 beneficiaries in each ward, in each primary health center across the 239 wards, and very soon access to care will commence. KOGI State Health Insurance Agency have also paid capitation, which is the monthly payment to 220 healthcare facilities out of the 239, and in order to spur them to action so that the beneficiaries can access the basic healthcare provision fund. I would like to say that KOGI State is among the few states that have prioritized the release of this equity fund to complement the basic healthcare provision fund in order to expand the population coverage in the state. We have enrolled 13,440 persons under the BELLO care across the 21 local governments, and enrollment is still ongoing because the target is 15,000. BELLO care affords the beneficiary primary level of care to tertiary level of care, ranging from general consultation for common diseases, surgeries, and other specialties that are involved free of charge.
The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Usman Zakari, said plans were underway to capture state civil servants and students of tertiary institutions in the state, while the Executive Director, KOGI State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Abubakar Yakubu, made the case for harmonization of all primary health care across the state.
Healthcare services in the midst of persistent high out-of-pocket expenditure on health is worrisome, and the social inequalities in health adversely affect the poor more than the rich. The most vulnerable groups oftentimes do not receive the healthcare services they need due to lack of money to seek healthcare, ignorance, and poverty, leading to increased mobility, poor life expectancy, and most times premature death. The idea of launching BELLO Care initiative to provide hope for the vulnerable persons who cannot afford quality healthcare services is to stem the tide in mortality and morbidity amongst the target groups, improve their quality of life so that they can become more productive and live healthier lives. Your Excellency, posterity will be kind to you, and history will record your administration as one that spared no expenses, developing a resilient healthcare system capable of securing the future of KOGI State in a manner never witnessed before.
What is left for us to achieve is to bring the health workers, the local government health workers, under the State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, where the state will have a supervisory role on them, pay their salaries, appoint and fire any area staffs. This is very important point that will give us the required percentage that will be necessary for the National Primary Health Care to consider us as having fully implemented this primary health care under one roof.
In a goodwill message, KOGI State Chairman of the NLC, Onu Edoka, represented by the State Chairman, Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria, Amari Gabriel, called for full implementation of the primary health care under one roof to maximize the benefits of various health interventions, particularly at the grassroots.
I'm also directed to only appeal to the government, in as much as the workers are ready to contribute from their salary, so that our people in the rural area will benefit. It is not just we that are in the city, but our people down there in the villages. We only want to appeal to the government to be faithful in also remitting their counterpart for to sustain this program. We don't want a situation where this program will commence and people are happy, and along the line, prescription is given to you, they say there's no drug, go and buy from the pharmacy. It will not happen. Primary health care as the bedrock of attaining universal health coverage. Sir, I want to commend you again for ascending to that bill into law, bringing primary health care under one roof in the state. And I believe, I know your capacity, you are the type that doesn't believe in failure.
World Health Organizations and other health agencies represented commended Governor Bello for domesticated health insurance agencies in the state.
Your Excellency, I want to encourage you to do more in health.
BELLO Cares is a laudable venture. And when you provide help, your people can be healthy to make wealth. Your people can be healthy to go to school. Then we break that chain of poverty and ignorance. That's why I'm excited today.
And KOGI state is one of those few states, plus my state anyway, Nasarawa, that the state governor is giving money from the state account to fund the funeral. It's very rare. Most of the states are depending on what the federal government is bringing. And as awareness is continuous going, people are asking, what is the state doing? And KOGI state, the answer has been given to you because the governor has already done that. Now, what is happening today has health impact, because with this, your health outlook is going to improve, because there are people that don't access care because they don't have money. And that has increased burden of diseases, and that has increased mortality. So you're going to improve your health indices in the state. There's economic component of it. Since the inception of this agency, I'm sure there are people that didn't have a job, whether they are even casual, at least they have something to do. And for people also that will benefit from this, what it means is that they are healthy enough, or their money that they used to pay for healthcare, they can use it for something else. That is economic benefit.
What you are doing, it's another way of poverty reduction. That's what you are doing. In fact, if you have one of the greatest poverty reduction strategies, is when you prevent people from the impoverishments that come out of the need for health services.
The governor used the occasion to present symbolic identity cards to beneficiaries. The program was spiced with a dance drama. Khadijat Mohammed, reporting for MLC TV.
KOGI State Enterprise Development Agency marks its 2 years in operations with the introduction of orange flesh sweet potato farming as a means of generating wealth for over 100 women in the state. The managing director, Rikia Onaye-Vosani, said the value chain of orange flesh sweet potatoes cannot be ignored. The Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Gabriel Olofu, advised interested businesswomen and men to register through a cooperative society to partake of it. Our reporter, Faith Abdul-Ghaffar, has more.
It's 2 years of CADA operations in the state, and hundreds of persons have benefited from its intervention in areas of training and empowerment on various skills acquisition, small and medium-scale businesses, cluster farming, and other intervention through the federal government and the present administration of Governor Yahaya Bello. In commemoration of the anniversary was the launching of a 2-day training on how to turn the farming of orange fresh sweet potato into wealth creation. The state governor, Yahaya Bello, represented by the secretary to the state government, Folashade Ayo-Ade, commended the agency for its strides within the 2 years to empower and move many of the labor market through the agency's various programs. Governor Bello said that his administration will raise many successful businessmen and women who will become self-sustained to empower others. Folashade charged 100 women and men, including the physically challenged beneficiaries of the training, on the value chains to maximize the riches that abound in the cultivation and harvest for the business purposes of the orange flesh sweet potato in the state.
I want to encourage the beneficiaries on behalf of His Excellency to please take this training very, very serious, because you're going to create wealth. It's going to be for economic empowerment, and I can assure you that the government will always support you. Anytime you need the support of the government, especially when it has to do with this program, be sure you have it.
The government assured the participants of full support in the areas of land, loan and grant to encourage the cultivation of the product, which he stressed to have tremendous health benefits. The Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Gabriel Olofu, said that the cultivation of the orange flesh sweet potato, OFSP, when enhanced, will reduce the importation of wheat as it will be used in bread baking, act as vitamin A in children, and boost the state economy.
The use of orange fresh sweet potato in bread and other bakery products would drastically reduce the dependence of wheat import. This will see the future players cutting down this over 1 trillion naira import and reducing the huge pressure on foreign exchange demand in the country. It is time to think differently by looking inward and start acting accordingly. It is embarrassing that Nigeria imports potatoes and potato products between 2019 and 2020 from China at $1.53 million, Morocco $142,000, Netherlands at $114,000. Even more embarrassing is that these imports come from Netherlands that is just slightly bigger than KOGI in land mass, which means KOGI can feed the country and even export to other parts of the world if we put our hearts to produce and diligently do so.
The State Commissioner for Agriculture, David Apes, said that the ministry will partner with KEDA on a working template to promote the cultivation of the OFSP with other relevant stakeholders to achieve set goals.
To get results, we will have to embrace stakeholders and players. This will involve partnership with the International Potato Center. We will look into how not just the presence but the possibility of having their research facilities in the states to research and collaboration on production. The Ministry of Agriculture, KEDA, and CIP will advance partnership with public and private institutions to promote and expand production and commercialization of OFSP across value chains.
The excited Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of KEDA, Rekia Sani, said training and workshop will help the participants, mostly women who engage in small-scale businesses and farming, to go into OFSP production to enhance their financial status as well as improve their well-being. Rekia said necessary support will be given to the participants through their various registered cooperatives as well as the needed expertise in the cultivation of the crops.
Because if you give money to single owners of businesses, the money, we don't really get it back into the business to, support other businesses. And that is why it's very important for us to form cooperatives at various levels. If at this stage you have not registered your, submit your cooperative with KEDA, the first thing you have to do is to go to the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, register your cooperative, and then bring it and document it for us to have you in our database. We are going to be having clinic for startups. Anybody, whether you go school, you don't go school, come to us. We are going to be developing an approach to advise you how to do your business.
According to her, the workshop will also participate in technology, innovation, fashion and designing, amongst other things, aimed at taking people out of poverty. She said the value chains cannot be overemphasized. She disclosed that the state government aimed at supporting 400,000 entrepreneurs across the state, while the sum of 750 million naira is being expected to be disbursed as loans to end users of the program. On the targeted participants, she said women are given the largest share, while youth and people living with disability, PLWD, are also included in the scheme.
And this new goal, we felt that the women should benefit more from this empowerment. And we are going to do a whole lot by the special grace of God. Thank God we have the executive governor of KOGI State, who is ambassador of women, and he has been supporting us so far. What do we want to do? We want to empower at least, if we are taking, I'd like to apologize for the men here. If we are going to take 10 men for empowerment, we are saying that 7 out of that 10 is going to be women in this project.
The head of research and development, KEDA, Daniel Ugu, urged farmers to put effort into the plantation of the orange fresh sweet potato due to its enormous economic and health impact it could have on the state and the nation.
First of all, 200 billion naira worth of business, if we take it seriously.
That is excluding the biscuit sector. That's your biscuit you give to your kids. There's about 121 billion annually from biscuits. So 20% of that, I don't know if this is exciting enough. And that is why we're here today. But I don't also want us to make this mistake we made with cocoa. Cocoa was so good for us that we set up Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria at Ochaja. It was so exciting for palm oil that we set up the Nigerian Institute for Oil Palm Research, again in Ochaja. Yet, we moved. We are now playing in the cassava sector because there's unicorn somewhere. But the interesting thing is for our women here, the ethyl market, where ethanol comes from cassava, it's even higher in your orange sweet flesh potatoes. Which means what the cassava person is doing currently, you could as well enjoy farming potatoes and eating the same thing. We have not dealt with the market yet. We might not even do enough. But we shouldn't wait to now start hearing success stories from Rwanda, who has started very well now. Malawi, who has taken the lead. It is time for KOGI to take the lead.
Faith Abdul-Ghaffar reporting for Mlc TV.
The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has announced the redeployment of the former Commissioner for Special Duties and Intergovernmental Relations, Tayo Bangboshe Martins, as the new Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development. This was announced on Wednesday by the State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Gbenga Omotosho, in Alausa, Ikeja. He said he is here to announce on behalf of the Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu the redeployment of Tayo Bangboshe Martins as the new Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development. The former Commissioner Salako resigned on Monday following the collapse of a 7-story building on Victoria Island. If you are just joining us, it's MLC TV News Hour. We'll be right back after the short break.
Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV with entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV. MLC TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
Welcome back. More than 90,000 vulnerable male and female residents as well as community groups on Wednesday in Bama received combined sum of about 400 million naira alongside thousands of bags of food and textiles as humanitarian support and social protection on the second day of the visit of Borno Governor Professor Babagana Zulum. Zulum arrived Bama on Monday as he approached his third day of undertaking humanitarian developmental activities. The governor earlier on Wednesday flagged off the distribution in front of the Shehu of Bama's palace amidst the gathering of thousands of beneficiaries. More than 60,000 male residents each received 2 bags of rice and maize, while 30,000 women each received a wrapper and 5,000 naira cash. Cash and food distribution took place at 4 locations. 3 of these were in Bama town and 1 at Gurusoye, a village on the outskirts of the town. Governor Zulum was directly involved in coordinating the aid distribution to ensure substantial reach and transparency to numerous groups, including those of volunteers, elders, different levels of traditional rulers who helped in intelligence gathering. Various sums of money were released to the groups depending on their numbers in order to enhance access to livelihood as residents gradually returned to farming and other businesses, which was hitherto hampered by violent activities of insurgents. The governor conveyed his deepest gratitude to President Buhari, the Minister of Humanitarian Activities, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, Controller General of the Nigeria Customs Services, retired Colonel Hamid Ali, and heads of NEDC and NEMA for their compassion towards Borno people. And on politics, maize of the Ogun State House of Assembly has been reported missing. The maize, which is the staff of the legislative arm and which its derived authority, has been stolen to prevent the House from sitting. Sources say that over 16 members of the House have signed to impeach the embattled Speaker Olakunle Oluomo. Oluomo was arrested by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) last week on allegations of corruption. the Speaker unilaterally jacked up a 70 billion naira loan approved by the House to 100 billion. Sources say the governor had tried to plead with members of the House not to impeach the Speaker. The members, majority of whom were denied second-term ticket by Abiodun, had vowed to teach the governor a political lesson. Accusing fingers have been pointed in the direction of the governor for the missing maize. Oluomo has also been charged with stealing 2.4 billion naira from the coffers of the assembly. He has, however, been granted bail but remanded in the EFCC custody pending the time he meets the bail's conditions. And on crime, the Department of State Services (DSS) has arrested Tuku Mamu, the self-acclaimed Kaduna-trained hostage negotiator. This was disclosed by Peter Afunaya, the public relations officer, in a statement issued to journalists. The PRO said this is to confirm that Mamu, as a person of interest, was intercepted by Nigeria's foreign partners at Cairo, Egypt on Tuesday while on his way to Saudi Arabia. He has since been returned to the country on Wednesday and taken into the service's custody. The act followed a request by Nigerian military law enforcement and intelligence community to their foreign partners to bring back Mamu to the country to answer critical questions on ongoing investigations relating to some security matters in parts of the country. He added that the public may wish to note that the law will appropriately take its course. On foreign, the suspect in a stabbing spree in Canada which left 10 people dead and 19 injured has died after being captured by the police. Miles Sanderson, 32, experienced medical distress after the arrest on a motorway in the province of Saskatchewan following a high-speed chase and died later, police said. They gave no details. An unarmed official earlier said that Sanderson died of self-inflicted injuries. 10 victims remain in hospital. 3 are in a critical condition. It is not clear what prompted Sunday's mass killing, which encompasses 13 separate crime scenes. Both suspects, Miles Sanderson and his brother Damien, 31, are dead. Most of those killed in the rampage and the suspects themselves were from the James Smith Cree Nation, an indigenous community. Police found Damien's body on Monday and are investigating whether his brother killed him. She said police had received a report earlier in the day of Miles Sanderson stealing a vehicle from outside the property. The householder was not injured during the theft. Police gave pursuit as Sanderson fled at speed of 150 km per hour. They forced his vehicle into a ditch and officers found a knife in the SUV as they arrested him, said the police chief. He was taken into custody at around 15:30 local time and taken to a hospital in Saskatoon where he was pronounced dead, she added. News of Sanderson's capture came soon after an alert was sent to Canadian mobile users warning people near the town of Wakau to seek immediate shelter in place because a man armed with a knife has been seen driving a stolen white Chevrolet Avalanche in the area. The Islamic State group IS has said it killed 4 Christians, including an Italian nun, in an attack in Mozambique northern Nampula province on Tuesday. It issued the claim the following day via its account on the messaging app Telegram in the name of its so-called Mozambique province branch. Mainstream media outlets reported on Wednesday that an 83-year-old Italian nun identified as Sister Maria Di Copi was shot dead by militants who raided the village of Chimpeni in Membe district where a Christian missionary is based. Several people were reportedly beheaded in the attack. In its claims, IS said it killed the nun because she had excessively engaged in spreading Christianity. It has also boasted that its militant burnt a church, 2 vehicles and other properties belonging to the missionary in the area, before allegedly returning safely to their positions. Prior to this attack, IS had claimed its first and only attack in Nampula in June, when it also claimed to have raided a village in Memba and allegedly beheaded 1 Christian. Nampula lies in the south of Cabo Delgado province, where IS activities is concentrated. Mozambican President Filipe Nyusi has confirmed the latest attack in Nampula. And on sports, let's now join John Malik for the sports update.
And on sport updates, Spanish teenager Carlos Alcaraz reached his first major semi-final after beating Italy's JANNIK in a US Open thriller in New York. Alcaraz 19 saved a match point before clinching an epic 6-3, 6-7, 5-7, 6-7, 0-7, 7-5, 6-3 win over 11th seed Sinner. The 3rd seed will face Francis Tiafoe on Friday for a spot in Sunday's final. The American 24 also played in a first major semi-final after a 7-6, 7-3, 7-6, 7-0, 6-4 win over Andrei Rublev. A first-time Grand Slam champion is already guaranteed in the men's single at Flushing Meadows, with Norway's Kaspar Ruud and Russia Karen Kachkanov contesting the other semi-final. ALCARAZ and 23-year-old Ruud also have a shot of becoming the new world number one as an intriguing tournament nears a conclusion. And still on sports, from the UEFA Champions League matches played on Wednesday, Ajax defeated Rangers by 4-0. Napoli defeated Liverpool 4-1. Atletico Madrid defeated FC Porto 2-1. Club Brugge, on the other hand, defeated Bayern Leverkusen 1-0. Barcelona trashed Victoria Pilsen 5-1. Inter Milan lost at home to Bayern Munich by 2-0. Eintracht Frankfurt defeated Sporting Lisbon 3-0, while Tottenham Hotspur defeated Olympique Marseille 2-0. Meanwhile, the second tier of Europe competition, Europa League, starts on Thursday. And that's sports update on MLC TV News. I am Malik Jonah reporting. Back to our caster for more stories.
Thank you, Jonah, for the update. And on entertainment, American movie icon Nicolas Cage and his wife Rico Shibata have welcomed their first child together. According to a statement released by representatives of the couple, they welcome a baby girl together. Nicolas and Rico are happy to announce the birth of their daughter. Mother and daughter are doing fine, the statement read. News of Shibata's pregnancy first broke in January. This was after the movie star told Kelly Clarkson they had a baby girl on the way and planned to name her Lennon Augie as a tribute to John Lennon and Cage's father, August Coppola. Cage has two sons, Weston, 31, and Kal-El, 16, with exes Christiana Fulton and Alice Kim, respectively. Crossing over to Africa, Nigerian music star Ice Prince Zamani has been remanded in prison following the absence of the witness in his case. During the trial on Wednesday, September 7, 2022, the prosecution's lawyer asked the court to adjourn the case, citing the absence of his two witnesses. However, the rapper's lawyer, Folarin Dalmanida, presented the two sureties to the court. The court had earlier granted him bail in the sum of 500,000 naira and asked him to provide two responsible sureties. Ice Prince was arrested for allegedly assaulting a police officer. According to a statement released by the spokesperson of the Lagos State Police Command, Benjamin Udeyin, the music star abducted and threatened to throw an officer into the river after he was stopped for driving without a license. The music star was later arraigned and remanded at the Ikoyi prison till his bail conditions are met. And that's the size of our package today. Join us tomorrow at the same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happenings within and across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel Mlc TV, like and follow our Facebook page Mlc TV, Instagram Mlc TV 2021, Twitter at Mlc TV 1. For event coverage, information, contribution, adverts and sponsorship, please call any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Join us Friday and Saturday to watch our special programs. It's Mlc TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. I am Matthias Ayodeji Peter. Please continue to be your brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together. Thank you till I come your way tomorrow. God bless.